is, like you said, this is the time to do it, but there are so many people who are just not doing it. Like they get caught up in it's not what it was. Yeah, it's not what it was. But now, since it's not what it was, what is it? Because it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. And I'm not saying that to be dismissive. I'm saying that so that you don't get caught up in what it wasn't and what it is no longer, no more. What's going on, world, and welcome back to the Pursuit of the Good Life podcast, where we talk about how to enhance your career and your relationships. I'm your host, the Cameron Lovelace, joined back this week by Dr. Sarah Lee Benson. Sarah, how are you?
I am okay, Cam. I'm okay. I'm taking it one day at a time. How are you doing?
I'm good. I got a surprise. Is that I had to take a COVID test yesterday.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah. So while Sparkle was at work last week, she found out that she may have potentially got exposed through one of her coworkers. So we had to go quarantine, and we went yesterday. Today's Wednesday, so we went yesterday on Tuesday to go take our COVID test. And so there are two different types of COVID tests. There's the immediate day results, like you can take it and you can find out immediately if you got it or not. And then there's the day, like takes a couple of days for you to get your results back. So went to one of the urgent cares here and did the fast ones. And so it's an interesting experience. So first of all, this clinic, they give them out for free, so that's good. But because of that, they only do a limited amount per day.
Right.
And they open at 7 o'clock.
So what time you have to get there?
Girl, we got there at 6:30, and we were 30 and 31 in line.
I believe it.
And I don't know if like the max number was like 100 or if it's 50, but they said by the time, like, because I remember she was the person at the front desk was on the phone with somebody, and she was like, "Oh yeah, when I got here at 7 o'clock, there were 50 people around the door." So it's like when you come in, they immediately put a number on your paperwork so that you hold your spot in line and you can go and come back. So if we had got there at 5:45, we probably would have been first, and we would have been in and out. But because we're number 30 and we had to get in there, and so they have to take the paperwork, they have to enter the paperwork into the system, and then take it back, and then conduct the COVID test, and then each COVID test, it takes around 20 minutes for your results to come back. Okay. So person 1 through 5, that's already, and you only can have a certain amount of people obviously in the back at the time. So
of course,
we were there until like 2 o'clock.
Wow.
So now we could have went home, came back, got something to eat, did all that, but we were just like, no, this is.
So how was the test? Like, tell us about that. Like, what exactly do they do?
Oh, let me tell you. I don't know if you've seen videos of people, like actors and stuff, that have had to take it like daily, or NBA people or anything like that. So basically what they do, they take this, the Q-tip that you put in your ears. They take a long version of that, and they stick it up your nose. And let me tell you, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because they go up. They don't go like up to your brain, but they go far enough to where it's like, ooh, Sparkle described it as when you're underwater too long and the water shoots up your nose. It's similar to that feeling, except for they stick it up and then they twist it to make sure they got a good sample, and then they go up the other side and do the same thing.
Okay. So is that all they do?
That's for the fast test. I think that's all they do. I think for the longer test that takes a couple of days, I think they swab your cheek as well. But for this fast one, they just do the nasal. Of course, they ask you the symptoms and stuff. Check your breathing, check your heart, check your ears, see if anything's swollen or anything like that. So yeah. So that was.
How long does that take? Like, how long does the actual test take?
Oh, the test only takes maybe a couple seconds.
Wow.
Like 30 seconds. 30 seconds from start to finish. Like you get on the table, check your vitals, check your blood pressure. Well, I'll say, of course, blood pressure takes a little bit longer. They take your temperature, and then they put up your nose, twist it, other nostril, twist it, and all right, we'll have your results in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So they put it in there. So about 30, 35 minutes later, they come back and tell you your results.
Okay. And you guys are good? You guys
Yeah,
sick?
we're good. We're negative.
Okay.
But yeah, that was an experience of the day.
I bet it was. So you all waited, like, you see y'all got there at 7:30. Y'all didn't leave to 2, so that's,
We got there at 6:30.
I'm sorry, 6:30, so
And
that's.
they opened at 7. So we're waiting. So we're standing in line, waiting our turn to get in there. Got in there maybe about probably around like 7:15, 7:30. Filled out our paperwork. And then of course we might have went home. We went home for like 20 minutes, but then came back and just to wait our turn just to see when process was. So
8 hours basically for 30 seconds.
Essentially. About 2 minutes and a 30-minute waiting period. But I mean, in our defense, if we had got there earlier, we would have been first one out. So the earlier you get there, the earlier you get out. But it's free. We had to pay nothing for it.
Yeah.
You just show up, give me information. That's it.
Okay. Well, at least you guys got it done and you all know. So that's a good thing. You guys got it done. You all know. So the takeaway from this is get there like 2 hours before they're supposed to open in order to get in and get out.
Right. So that is definitely a big definition of the early bird gets the worm.
Gets the worm.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily matter if you know, when you got there, but you'll get a better experience if you get there first or if you get there early. And that's a tangible nugget that you can apply to pretty much anything in life, but especially when it comes to this COVID test.
Yeah. I said, me and Kim said we were going to take one because, last week we were moving around. So last week was the first time Kim had been really out the house. So since quarantine started, like he hadn't traveled or nothing.
Right.
And so we both said we were going to get one just because, you never know. Like, yeah, we had masks on and but you just never know. And we did come in contact with like different people, people who I hadn't seen, in a long time. So we both said that we were going to, take one, get one done. I know I'm going to get one simply because we're getting ready to start back with school. And so even though the kids aren't coming back, there is a possibility that I will have to be at the building. And so, because some of the teachers might teach at the school and some of the success coaches might be there. So I did say I was going to give me one just so that I'll know as we're like preparing to be back in the workplace. So, but yeah, I'm glad to know I always wondered what that experience was like because I'm one of those weird people. I don't like stuff like that.
Of course not. Don't get me wrong. It's not fun. It's not like it's not like, oh, it's not better than no. It's uncomfortable. It's like I didn't flinch, but I felt it. But I went first because I knew Sparkle. She's been talking about it this whole time. It's like, I don't want them sticking up my nose, touching my brain. I'm like, bro, they're not gonna touch your brain. They know what they're doing.
They don't go that far up. They just go up.
They go far enough to where it's uncomfortable. But I made it look easy so that she'll just get on the table and just take it. But when I tell you this,
you have to lay down.
No, it's like a kind of like you do when like you get just a physical.
Yeah.
So Yeah, but when I tell you her hands went from this to
I
she was
know.
like, whoop.
I saw the videos of them, and I'm just like, yeah, that's very,
Like I
yeah,
said, it's uncomfortable, but it's not like the worst pain ever. And it's only for a couple seconds, literally.
yeah.
Twist, 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 twist.
So I guess my question would be, so you said there's two types of tests. It's ones that you can get back, in 20 minutes, and the other one you have to wait a few days. What's the different procedures between them? Like, what
So
causes one to be quicker than the other one?
so I think because the instant one is so fast, I think, when I'm talking to my grad students here, reliability and um, validity, and
Yeah.
reliability. So the faster tests have a lower, have a higher chance. They're 90% accurate, but
Okay.
there's that 8 to 10% that could that could come up as a false positive or something like that.
Got
Whereas
you.
the ones that take a longer amount of time, they're more accurate.
So which do you recommend? So if well, for somebody like me who will probably have to go into a school, should I get the quick one or
So
the
if you've waited till the last minute and you need something quick, I say go to like a clinic and just get something.
okay,
That means you might have to wake up a little early.
early, like an urgent? So you go like urgent care to get
Mm-hmm.
this done? Okay.
So they do it, but that because they only have a limit. They only do a limited amount per day. I'm guessing they get like a shipment, and then they have to spread it out. That's my assume. But you can actually also, we actually ordered a kit that came in the mail. We're not going to use it. Well, I guess we'll save it until hopefully.
What's the kit for?
So kit is basically the longer version. So you can do it at home. You can do it yourself.
Really? Where do you get a kit from?
I had seen the website, but yeah, you
Okay.
ordered online. Her supervisor sent her the link just to go ahead and order. So comes straight to your house, and you take it and send it back, and then you get your results back. I guess in a couple of days. So
Okay.
just I'm guessing for those people who don't want to physically leave the
Leave that
house.
house. Yeah. Because we are still in the middle of a pandemic. It's really weird that to say that we're still in the middle of this pandemic because we are because of the way things. So you can go into a restaurant, you can go do certain things. Certain states are rolling back. Certain states aren't. You have to know who's doing what. So Mississippi for one, uh, had certain counties only have certain restrictions,
Right.
which I think is crazy. Because Mississippi has one of the highest ones. I'm sorry, I promise y'all I'm not sick. This fan is on and it's giving me the blues. And I'll have to take it off. But it's just really weird right now. What's going on in the world? How do you feel about did you think we would be here in March?
I can truly say I had little information on exactly how serious this virus was back in March. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely did not foresee us going into the school year. I think in a perfect world, I think I saw us coming out of this over the summer. Like I saw, okay, yeah, everybody's gonna do it. Everybody, silly me thought, yeah, everybody's gonna do what they need to do. Everybody's gonna stay home. Every governor is going to have the people's best interest in mind instead of the dollar interest in mind. The first stimulus check comes out. Oh, okay, we're gonna get another stimulus check if this continues to be an issue. Oh,
Yeah.
and then June happens, and then July happens, and then here we are in August, and yeah. So, and then you look at Korea, who has a population of 50 plus million people, and they've had 300 deaths total. And then you look at the US, and we are 160,000 deaths. So, no, to answer your question, no, I did not foresee it getting this bad. Silly me saw this as this will be temporary. This will just be for the summer. By the time August rolls back around,
We should have it
under control, flatten the curve. Only it should be very isolated, and the rest of us should be straight.
Yeah.
So now I see us. This could go into the new year potentially.
Yeah. It could, because it's like, I don't know. People are nuts. I've just come to conclusion. People are nuts. They crazy. I think people are crazy. I think people, not everybody, but I think there are some people who don't think this is real still. There are some people who just feel like they can just do whatever, and it is what it is. Nobody wants to stay at home. I'm with you. I feel like if back in March, when everything really started to like shut down, I feel like if everybody would have just did that, if we all just would have complied, if everybody just would have just did what they had to do, we could have been able to flatten the curve. We could have been able to, really do something. But then I think, Memorial Day happened, and like people just was like, you know what, I'm tired of being in the house. I'm tired of doing things. The white people were protesting because they couldn't get their haircuts and all of this stuff. And people just like, you know what, just forget it, just whatever. And whereas other countries are now, in the process of opening back up and have, gotten better, we're still in the first wave. We're still in the first part of this. We're still, governors don't know if they want to open up or shut down. People have made wearing a mask a political statement. Some people, it's just crazy. And I just feel like a lot of people don't care until it happens to them or to somebody they care about. And then at that point, it's too late. It's too late. Like there was a video going around a few weeks ago of some doctors talking about, I don't know, did you see the video of the doctors who staged a rally on the Supreme Court thing? You hadn't seen? Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you hadn't seen it. That means Facebook and social media did their job in taking the video down. But there were like a bunch of doctors who came together to say that like COVID could be cured by this certain drug, and that some of the things that people got it is through alien sperm and having, it was crazy.
Aliens.
And they feel like it's demonic, and yes, capital C, crazy. And it's just like, and of course, Facebook and other social media platforms took it down because it was misleading. It was false information. It was just false information. But it's been really interesting to see people who I thought wouldn't fall for things like that, and people who actually shared it and was like, well, you know what, they have a point, or you know what, this. And I'm just like, no, y'all, no. Like, this is a very real thing. This is a very real issue. This isn't something that's made up. It's not something that deals with whatever. But I think we just at that point where a lot of people, like I said before, a lot of people don't care until it happens to them or somebody they care about. And at that point, it's too late. For some reason, everybody is like, it's like a lot of people don't care. I saw pictures. Did you see the pictures that came out from the first day of school at this school in Georgia?
Yeah, I did see that. And yep, if I was as a parent, I would be like, yeah, no, bro, you staying at the crib. Like, because at that point, I get it. If you're like kindergarten, elementary school kids, you physically cannot leave your kids at home in good conscience and trust that they will, not, be taken advantage of. But high school, okay, yeah, bro, you're gonna have to. We'll work it out. You can be homeschooled, virtual learning, whatever that case. I'm not playing with your life like that. So yeah, that's just me personally. But
we could count the number of masks the students had on.
Some had masks, some didn't, and got them
majority
all
did
over the place. But yeah, it's interesting just how this is all panned out.
Yeah,
and it's it's crazy because you could look at this through a myriad of lenses. So you could say it's not real. You could say this, but I think one of the most important things to look at this is to look at this as an opportunity to do something different in your particular space. So, like for example, speaking of schools, the Pac-12 conference, big college football, college, not just football.
Yeah, Pac-12.
Yeah, NCAA conference. The player, like some odd of 400 plus players came together and basically had a list of demands for, what they want to see as far as making sure that they feel that they're safe, making sure that they're represented and all this good stuff. They are doing they're making their demands because they realize, look, if the college football season does not happen, there will be several schools that will go immediately in the red because majority of a lot of schools' funds comes from college football specifically. And that's not even counting like the schools with multiple sports that are good and thriving and stuff like that. And so the players looked at this, okay, this is an opportunity to truly get some leverage in our favor. Because of course, recently, those of you who are sports fans know, recently in the news for the last, like, I'd say about 3-4 years, it's been a paradigm shift of the players need to be getting paid. Like, they are generating billions of dollars in revenue for the schools. The coaches are getting millions of dollars. The coaches are getting these salaries and all this good stuff, but the players get nothing. And they are literally the reason that these dollars are being generated. Now, somebody had the idea and said, you know what, this is the time to strike. This is the time to use the power that we have. And so, and it doesn't have to necessarily be that dramatic, but each one of us can look at something different and say, you know what, this is an opportunity to make something different or to take advantage of what's going on.
Yeah.
And so it's troublesome for people, I think, to kind of get in that mindset, just because of, I'll say from the millennial perspective, because of social media and because we're in a consuming type of mode where we gotta see what's going on in the news. We gotta see what's going on with the polls. We gotta see what's going on with this. But this, like, whatever you can do, like, you can shift that to, okay, I need to go hunt. Like, this is the time for me to actually do something. I mean, look at all these people that are going to vote now. There's an opportunity. Let me tell you something, because I went to go vote last week for I think I've said on this podcast, but this is the first time I voted in a Shelby County election now.
Oh yeah.
So I did I did my research. I masked up. I did early voting, so I ain't gotta stand in line. So if you look into this and you haven't go voted, I think today's the 5th. Oh, so voting's tomorrow, August 6th, right? I think.
Yeah.
So voting day is tomorrow. If you're in Memphis listening to this, you need to go vote.
Yeah.
just go take care of that. But I did early voting, so I can go straight in. Tap, 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 tap. They got, Sarah, they had these. This was a church. They had little sticks, so you ain't even got to touch the screen.
Yeah.
And take care of that. But this for some people, this is an opportunity to actually make a difference because of RIP to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and everybody else that has died. But this can be an opportunity to unseat a lot of people. So if, like, I think I just saw on Facebook the other day or today, I think, that somebody in Missouri who was hosting a seat for 20 years now has been unseated. So this was an opportunity for that person that unseated it say, look, Black Lives Matter right now. I know that, people, conspiracy theorists say, Black Lives Matter only matter in election year. Yeah, that's cool and all, but this is the time to strike and take advantage of what the people need, because you got to do. So we have to get in a place to where we can't just look at this as an inconvenience. We got to look at this as an opportunity. And so, like, for example, for you, the teachers that are going into Douglas, they can look at this as, dang, this is inconvenient. Dang, this is a bother. Dang, this is not the most ideal situation. This straight up sucks. or you could look at this as an opportunity to do something different and to do something really impactful, because you are teaching literally Generation Z in your classrooms right now. Where are they at? They on TikTok, they on their phone, they on everything. So virtual, they could, yeah, I can do that. Let's go virtual. You could figure out how to do something that's way to engage them in a way that's never been done before.
Yeah.
But if you don't look at it as you literally get this place of that you're stuck, and then you wait for things to happen to you instead of you going out and doing something.
Yeah, that's so true. I think that I think a lot of people might have had the mindset that this wasn't going to last so long, so kind of push stuff off. But it's like, because we are here and there's no telling when this is going to end, this is the time to go do things. This is the time to, like, okay, what positives can I get out of this? Because if we don't think about the positives, we'll only focus on what's not happening here, or we'll only focus on like this whole, like, the numbers of deaths are rising and things, and not even realizing that, like you said, this is the time to make a change. Like, I definitely saw that the young lady upseated somebody who had a 20-year run. Like, that can happen in other places. I don't think people realize that can happen, but like, we are in this space to where if we don't like something, we don't want it. If we don't like something, or we don't like the policies being made, we can change that.
Right.
I saw a post that said there's going to be like 400 something people turning 18 soon or something. Like, get them registered to vote. Get them registered to vote to go out here, because I feel like this election year is a very pivotal year for the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for where we are going to go, or what's going to happen and how that's going to look. I feel like this is going to be the year that's going to do it. And we have the power to make an impact and the power to change. We just have to realize that. Right. And to go do that, and to not just focus on, what's not happening. Like, when you said something, this is a little sidebar, when you was talking about voting, and it made me think about Mississippi, and I'm like, we still have paper ballots. Like, we still have like these, and it's like, well, maybe this might be the year we can change that. Maybe somebody somewhere can talk about, going online, because we are still in the middle of a pandemic. Hopefully by November we won't be. That's wishful thinking. Because the rate we're going, we might be. I hope.
Like, you remember what I said when we first started? I said, I said, when August hits, there might be a whole nother resurgence because of all this traveling. And the thing about it is, some school, like colleges, let me say specifically colleges, they're still opening. Even though they're virtual learning, they want those kids still on campus.
With that money
to still be there, because look, if we ain't got college football, we got to get housing at least. Meal plans at least. So there might be another resurgence. I think I saw like Clemson had, and that was just the staff. There were 40 members on Clemson's campus who were staff members, employees that had COVID. And you talking about inviting the kids back from all over the country, all over your state? Like Florida, you should just call it. If you in the state of Florida, you should just call it a wrap. Sorry, bro.
Don't even go back.
Just virtual. Everybody go virtual. Nobody needs to come in. We'll cancel all sports. We just gonna chalk it up.
Have they not canceled? Well, I don't think the SEC has canceled sports. I know the SWAC, where we are, they pushed it to the spring. So football and stuff is going to be in the springtime.
That's interesting. Okay.
Which is going to be, I think it's going to be it's going to be fun. So having homecoming in the spring, all of those things in the spring. So
the SEC has right now, they've just omitted their non-conference games right now. And they'll probably omit it because, usually they start in August.
Yeah,
and
they do.
They start, they're playing people outside of their conferences just, for money, of course.
Of course.
But right now, they're just restricted to strictly SEC games at the moment. But I mean, the way that it's looking right now, and the way that MLB is going downhill.
Yeah, they are going down.
Like they start starting with the Marlins, and then you walk all the way over here, and the St. Louis Cardinals got an outbreak, and I'm just like,
yeah.
it ain't looking good.
I think whatever happens with the NFL is going to kind of set the tone for everybody else. Because something that I just thought about, tailgating.
Oh yeah, no,
that's big SEC thing.
absolutely not.
I was gonna say, are they gonna restrict people from tailgating? Probably. I hope so.
I mean, if you want to follow guidelines, you have to.
Yeah, they restrict people from tailgating, because I know at Ole Miss that you have over 1,000 people. You know, there are just certain things that I don't think people, but you know what? I think once that does start, people will take this seriously. Because if you take away their tailgating, take away them tickets to them games.
Oh yeah.
And telling people that they gotta sit, you know, at the house, I think people take it a little bit more seriously.
I mean, there are plenty of people who don't even go to the games. When you go to tailgate.
That all they do is go to the tailgate.
All you do is go to tailgate. And I've done it before. I ain't gonna lie. I've been that guy. Never didn't go to the game and just go to the tailgate.
Oh, most definitely. That's the only thing I do this now is just go to the tailgate. But
right.
We're gonna see it. Like we're going to see. I think maybe that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the game changer. When people realize they can't tailgate, when they realize they can't do certain things, I think that might be the game changer.
I mean, but I like I said, silly me had the I gave people too much credit in March, and I'm not giving no people no credit.
Yeah,
in August, September, until there is like a nationwide, statewide, from the top down leadership. Like I say, Tennessee has done relatively well.
Has it gotten better?
I'd say from the like the perspective of leadership, like the governor to the counties to the mayors and all that good stuff. From my perspective, Tennessee has done relatively well. Florida, trash. From the governor all the way to the local level, trash. You look at the state of Georgia, governor's good. Some cities are like the governor in Georgia, he's bad. He's horrible. But mayor of Atlanta, she's all right.
Right.
She actually contracted COVID.
Right. And that's why she's trying to help.
So, but again, this is not a podcast that we're talking about political.
Yeah.
It's crazy that talking about this can be political. First of all,
they made it political,
right?
Because it's not a political. This COVID is not a political thing, but people have made it political,
right? But this is not a political podcast, political bashing podcast. But it's about literally seeing how quickly some things can change in your life. And so really this really begs the question, what is it that you can do and what are you waiting on?
Yeah.
Because we all say that, you know, oh, we'll have more time. Oh, we'll do this when this is over. Like you might not have another opportunity for this type of opportunity. If you're looking to buy a house, these housing rates right now, they're pretty good. If you're looking to launch a new opportunity, launch a new program, launch something, this is the time. Like go ahead and do what you got to do. And if you are trying to make like a long lasting change, I recommend that you organize, strategize, and then go execute. And whatever it is that you are trying to do, if you are trying to, you know, do something like that's going to last the whole country, like that's going to impact Black Lives Matter movement, if you're going to launch a business, if you're going to purchase a home, if you're going to lose weight, if you're going to go out and do something, like you need to get organized, strategize, and then go execute.
Yeah, this is the time. Like me and Ken, we decided for the month of September, we're going to do meatless.
Meatless
September. And now I have to get my mind right. Cause listen, y'all know, I struggle with fasting, so let alone a whole month with meat, no meat.
Now, are y'all going vegan or vegetarian?
I'm going vegetarian.
Okay.
So yeah, vegetarian. So he's done it before, and he does great with it.
Mm-hmm.
y'all just pray for me for this meatless. So I know so this month to prepare for that.
This is your organization.
I'm going to for the next few weeks, I'm gonna pick a day out the week to do meatless.
Yep.
So that I'm not doing cold turkey
Mm-hmm.
come September thinking I'm be all right now. I'm gonna pick a day out the week to do meatless for the next few weeks. So to prepare for that, I've been looking up things on Pinterest. My cousin sent me this lady who meal preps. She's like a vegan something somebody. But I'm like, okay, like what can I do to prepare for that? That's something that we want to do as we prepare for our wedding and just really just a better lifestyle. I feel like this pandemic has given everybody the opportunity to do a lot more self-care.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of self-work and things that you can do because
people need to be doing that, but they aren't. But yeah, you're right.
I know y'all not. They need to do it. So gonna be trying to do some new things and bring some things forth since we are entering into a new normal. I think a lot of people feel like 2021 is going to come around and this virus is just going to disappear. But I don't think people understand that you have to do the work to make that happen.
Absolutely.
Like y'all want to be able to spend the holidays together. You got to do the work to make that happen.
So when you talk about the work, Sarah, what do you mean? Because we always say you got to do the work. You got to improve yourself. You got to do you. You got to glow up in private before you glow up in front of everybody else. So what do you mean by that, Sarah?
I mean, when we're thinking about as far as the world and COVID, we need to keep social distancing, keep wearing your mask, keep washing your hands, keep, quarantine, like follow the guidelines. That's really all we're asking. It's you all to.
But when we talk about that self-improvement piece, what do you?
For self-improvement piece, you should be doing some self-evaluations, right? Think about where you want to be in 2021 and then think about the steps to get there. Like one of the things that I have people do is I ask them, okay, so what is your goal? All right, how are we going to reach it? What steps do you need to take to reach the goal? But write it down, because sometimes we'll think about it and it'll be in our heads, but when we write it down, we're able to say, hey, I did this, mark it off. I did this, mark it off. But really think about your goals, write them down. Right. Also think about the steps to reach those goals and write them down and then start. You don't have to wait till the end of the week or wait till the next month. Like you could start today to do those things because if we really want to see the change, we can. We just have to start. We just have to make the first step. And keep going. Be consistent with it. It takes 21 days to form a habit.
It does. But what I also, because that's all good and dandy, but what I often see is that it takes more than one person if you truly can make a huge difference. So earlier this year, what is it? I think it was last year actually. So there was a guy whose name I just looked it up, Dennis Kimetto, has the world record now for the fastest marathon time. Okay. And the thing about it is, he didn't just get there just by training on his own, running 26.2 miles, I think it is. Yeah, 26.2 miles every day and just steadily increasing his time. No. When you pull back the curtain and see his process, you discover that he had runners with him. Okay. And those runners weren't competing against him. There are runners, they planned that there are runners ahead of him because what they see is that in order to get to the time, his time was 2 hours, 2 minutes, 57 seconds. Okay. I think the record was what this says. No, actually, I take that back. He got it under 2 hours. Yeah, so now that was his original record last year, and then he had to get it under 2 hours. So to shave off those 3 minutes to get first of all, the idea of that is just mind-boggling. 26 miles in under 2 hours. So,
Yeah.
but again, I say that he had people in front of him to keep him on that under 2 hour pace. And then he had people behind him to push him to continuously say, hey, you got to maintain this pace. So you literally have to have people that are surrounding you that are also going to keep you on that goal. So whatever your particular goal is that you want to be in 2021, in 2022, in 2023, 24, 25, you need to put yourself in a community or have people around you, whether you're friends or people that you just met up with, that are going to keep you on pace. Because things happen. People, like, look at Sarah. Sarah had her only grandfather pass away last week. But guess what she had? She had a community of people who immediately jumped in and was like, hey, whatever you need, I'm here for you. I'm here for whatever it is you need. I even texted her on Monday and said, hey, what you doing? Because I know now that the funeral's over, everybody's gone back. Hey, okay, what's really going on now? But you need those people around you to literally push you and to pull you closer to your goals, because at the same time you are going to push and pull them.
That's true.
And so I have to segue this because it's been burning in me, but I have to segue this into inviting you guys into the Good Life community. I have not posted it yet on social media, haven't did anything, advertised it yet, but I'm going to tell the podcast listeners first, loyal podcast listeners first, inviting you guys into the GLC, the Good Life community, which is our online community. We have a private Facebook group, and we do accountability calls each and every single week, helping you guys get to that version of the good life that you are pushing and going for. Because we found that when you do it on your own, the thing is, you could probably do it on your own, but it might take you a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But once you're in a community of people who are going after the same thing, maybe, or people that can encourage you, or people that can help you make the adjustments based on the mistakes that they've made, you have a higher likelihood of achieving your good life, whether that is your physical goals, your mental goals, your financial goals, or even your relational goals. Yeah, I'm talking about that crazy mama, that crazy daddy that you don't have a relationship with no more. Yeah, those type of things, it takes a community. Just like it takes a village to make a child, it takes a community to have long-lasting and sustained success.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to invite all of you guys into the GLC, the Good Life community. I'm going to put the link on the video, but for those of you who are loyal listeners and just don't want to go on YouTube, the website is goodlifetc.org/GLC, and you can check us out and you can join today. We're bringing fire. We trying to make an impact here. And so this is only the beginning. But yeah, Sarah, I mean, it's easy to say, social media, it's time to glow up, it's time to do this, it's time to learn a new skill, it's time to do this. But it's the application of it that cuts everybody out from the rest, from the people that actually do it and the people that fall off.
That's so true. That's so true. I mean, that's the difference between everything, really. You're going to have the people who say it, you're going to have the people who do it. And we want you all to be doers. We want you all to reach your goals. We want to help you all become the people who say that, you know what, this was my goal and this is what I did to get there, and look at me now, right? Versus months go by and you still sitting there, you're like, you know what, I should have did this, or I could have did that, or somebody else had that idea when you could have already been in the process of getting there.
Yep. And so with the month of September coming up, we're gonna be checking in. We're gonna be like, okay, Sarah, how's veggie September going? We're gonna be checking
right.
week. But that's what we need. And so for those of you listening who are like, this COVID-19 mess, this Black racism epidemic, this and it's crazy because this is, like you said, this is the time to do it, but there are so many people who are just not doing it. Like they get caught up in it's not what it was. Yeah, it's not what it was. But now, since it's not what it was, what is it? Because it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. And I'm not saying that to be dismissive. I'm saying that so that you don't get caught up in what it wasn't and what it is no longer, no more. I looked up and saw that majority of the countries in the world, guess what? You can't travel if you're a U.S. citizen or you live in the United States. You can't do it. In some countries, you got to have a positive COVID test 72 hours before you even walk in the airport.
Yep.
Or as soon as you touch down, you'll have to quarantine and take a test.
Yep.
All these people who want to travel, guess what? You can't travel. You can't leave. You can't leave the U.S. So guess what? This is your time to do. Take your little vacation money, put it aside, build it, grow it, scale it, do whatever you want, flip it, reverse it, whatever you want to do with the money, but you can't use it to travel no more. That's just not gonna happen. And I take that personally because I really, really, really wanted to go to the Bahamas this summer. I really wanted to go, but I can't. But like you said, Sarah, this is the time.
Yeah.
But you got to take the steps, whether you get in our community or get in somebody else's, or you just sit down and say what you want 2021 through 25 to do. Like now's the time. Don't get caught up. Well, pay attention to what's going on in the world, but don't get caught up in what's going on.
Yeah.
If it doesn't directly impact you, just do it for your information's sake and then get off it. Boom. Now it's time to go vote. What's going on in the world? Voting is August 6th. Okay, I need to make sure my ducks in a row. I'm registered. I'm doing this, that, and third. Person got exposed to COVID-19. Okay, I need to set aside this day to go get tested. But that doesn't mean I stop. That means I need to shift. How do I still work from home? How do I still make this happen? How do I still get to this dollar amount, this weight amount, this whatever amount in my isolation? Mm-hmm. This is still the time to do that. So be encouraged, I guess, was the point of all that.
Yeah, I'm encouraged.
Of course. But Sarah, you got any announcements? Peer Power doing anything with?
No announcements now. We should be in talks soon as far as like ACT prep. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I get that info, I will definitely share that with our loyal listeners. But yeah, I have no announcements right now.
Okay. Well, good deal. With that, we're gonna go ahead and just give it a wrap. All right. So give us that 5-star review on iTunes. Give us that like, share, subscribe on YouTube, and keep chasing your version of the good life. Until then, we will see you next week.
Bye.